Some very, very sad updates coming in on the identification of the dead. The remains, the people who've been identified so far, of the 13 dead, only 3 persons have been positively identified specifically so far. The remains, the mortal remains of General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, and his military advisor Brigadier L.S. Lidder have been positively identified so far. The other 10 bodies are not identified just yet because of the extent of the damage and the charring to them. The mortal remains of the others have been kept at the Army Base Hospital mortuary. They will be kept at the Army Base Hospital mortuary in Delhi, and after DNA matching and identification, only then will the mortal remains be handed to the families for their final rites and rituals. Gaurav Sawant joins me live. This is such a heartbreaking update, Gaurav. Such a heartbreaking, unspeakably sad update. Of the 13 mortal remains, only 3 have so far been positively identified. That of General Rawat, his wife, and his military advisor Brigadier Lidder. The other 10, they are in such a terrible state, charred so completely that they haven't even been identified positively yet. That is a process that will happen in Delhi.
Shiv, the process of identification and positive identifications using DNA techniques, that is exactly what is happening and will happen. In some instances it has, and in some instances it will happen at Research and Referral Hospital before the mortal remains are handed over to the next of kin. This is required as per procedure for compensation, for a lot of other benefits to flow into the NOK. And as you very rightly point out, Shiv, this is extremely heartbreaking. It's extremely heartbreaking for anyone. But when you know the individuals personally, when you've interacted with them so extensively over the past years, in some instances decades, it does hurt all the more. Look at the instance not just of the CDS and his wife, but Brigadier Lidder. He was approved for Major General. He was about to take over a division in Jammu and Kashmir in a short while from now, and unfortunately this incident happened. And just a week ago, his young ward, 16-year-old child, teenager, had written a book, and there were celebrations that the book had been written by a teenager, so well written, that was being talked about so extensively, and suddenly the world comes crashing down in such a manner. So it is extremely, extremely heartbreaking at this point of time, as the mortal remains are flown into the national capital around 7:40 this evening. And we are told that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, the 3 service chiefs, their families, they will all be there at the Palam Technical Airport, Shiv.
Gaurav, thanks very much for that. Very, very sad update that we're bringing to our viewers. And I'd like to say that we will continue to cover this story very sensitively.